Now, our next story contains all the ingredients of a Cold War spy movie. A secret weapons stash discovered in woods on the outskirts of Berlin. Police put the stash under observation for months, but nobody picks the weapons up. According to German media, authorities believe the weapons belong to the Russian intelligence service. Today, Germany's Interior Minister confirmed reports about the weapons. He didn't name Russia, but he specifically didn't rule out foreign involvement.
This case forms part of a wider range of hybrid threat scenarios, without this implying that there is a connection between this case and other recent incidents. However, hybrid threat scenarios affect us in a wide variety of ways. Can the involvement of foreign powers be ruled out in this case as well? No, but the ongoing proceedings will clarify this.
Well, let's hope so, because I'm confused. Our political correspondent Simon Young has been making notes for his next novel. Welcome, Simon. Tell us more about what the German Interior Minister's been saying.
Yeah, Phil, obviously this was a hot tip to the authorities, who quickly found the location of these weapons, 2 handguns plus ammunition, as you say, in the forests outside Berlin. Police moved in, made the guns unusable and waited to see if somebody would come back to get them, but that was not the case. Nonetheless, German authorities have begun an investigation on suspicion of espionage and preparing to carry out serious crime. And it seems that they have made some progress in that investigation because a man has been arrested in Romania and is being held in connection with this case.
So who do they think put the weapons there? Who was supposed to pick them up in order to do what?
Yeah, well, it's not quite clear how much the authorities know about this. The transparency is, of course, limited in such a case. But the Interior Minister was referring to what he called low-level agents. Other people talk about disposable operatives or single-use agents. Hiding weapons in a forest is the sort of thing that these kind of people might be asked to do. It fits the pattern, if you like. These are not professional spies or intelligence operatives, but people who can be persuaded with money or other inducements to carry out this type of task, burying weapons. It might sound simple, just digging a hole and putting the weapons in, but it's got to be done in a way that those weapons can be retrieved later. The hole doesn't want to become waterlogged, for instance. So it's not necessarily seen as a dangerous job, but it's something that could be done by these people and might lead to further involvement down the line, or indeed there might be no further contact with them. So, this is a new thing and a significant part of these hybrid attacks people are talking about.
This is the stuff that I keep reading about on the internet, where people on these weird Substacks or forums are contacted and said, well, do a job, set fire to something, and we'll pay you. And then, as far as anyone's concerned, this is a criminal activity and it's not directly connectable to a foreign government.
Well, that's right. And the Interior Minister said that he is not able to connect this case specifically or attribute it specifically to any perpetrator. But he said that it fits absolutely in the context of the massive hybrid attacks that Germany has been facing. This man has been arrested in Romania, as I mentioned. It seems that some are suggesting there might have been an attack planned there, but reports in the German media say that what might ultimately have come of this is an attack against, for instance, senior business people in the arms industry, for instance, or possibly even opposition members or supporters of the Ukrainian opposition here in Germany.
And Russian involvement is being heavily hinted at without explicitly blaming the Kremlin.
Well, that's right. Clearly in the context of the war in Ukraine and the threats from the Kremlin against Ukraine's allies, including Germany, there is plausible suspicion in that direction. I think reports in the German media say that the intelligence services are convinced that Russia was behind this incident of the weapons in the woods. The German government has made its position pretty clear on Ukraine many times and has condemned Russian hybrid attacks. But I think government ministers pull back from making specific accusations against Russia, without concrete information. That's probably not helpful.
Hi, Simon. DW political correspondent Simon Young.